You are not seeing reality. Your brain is guessing. Here's why. Your eyes work much like a camera. They capture images and videos and send them to your brain for processing. But unlike a camera, your brain does not store those images as memories. Instead, it reconstructs them each time you recall them. And because of that, every time you remember something, it's actually a new experience. You're seeing a new image based on the memory traces in your brain. So when you think about your childhood home, you're not actually seeing the house itself. You're seeing a reconstruction of it based on memories stored in your brain. Even when you return to your childhood home, you don't actually see the house as it is. Instead, you see it through the lens of your memories and experiences there. This is why people who meet at a childhood home years later may not recognize the place themselves. It's because they no longer have a mental image of what it looks like. The same is true with facial recognition. When you see someone you know, you don't actually see their face. You see a mental reconstruction of it. This is why you may recognize a friend's voice but not their face. It's because your brain has reconstructed their face based on past experiences. In fact, you don't actually see anything at all. What you see are mental reconstructions of things. This is why we can be fooled by illusions. Your brain is always trying to make sense of the world around you. Sometimes it makes mistakes. When this happens, we perceive things that aren't really there. For example, when you look up into the night sky, you don't actually see stars. You see a mental reconstruction of them. Because light takes time to travel, the stars you see at night are actually long gone. They're no longer shining. Their light no longer exists. All you're seeing is a memory trace of it in your mind. This is why we can believe things that aren't true. When someone tells us something, we don't actually see or hear what they're saying. We see and hear mental reconstructions of it. This is why we can believe someone who is lying to us. Their lies can seem real to us because our brains are always reconstructing reality. Even the way we perceive time is an illusion. Time doesn't actually exist. It's just a mental construct. This is why we can feel like time is passing quickly or slowly. It's because our brains are always trying to make sense of the world around us. When we do this, we often impose our own beliefs and expectations onto reality. This is why you may expect a friend to arrive at 8 p.m., but you don't actually see them until 8:30. You still think they are on their way, even though they arrived 30 minutes ago. Your brain is always trying to make sense of the world around you. It's always asking questions like, what's going on? Why is this happening? When it does this, it often imposes its own beliefs and expectations onto reality. This is why you may believe that a friend is on their way, even when they have already arrived. Your brain is constantly trying to make sense of the world around you. Sometimes it makes mistakes. When this happens, we can experience things that aren't really there. This is why you may believe that you saw a ghost. Your brain was trying to make sense of what you saw, and it imposed its own beliefs and expectations onto the situation. So when you think you're seeing reality, you're really seeing a mental reconstruction of it. Your brain is always trying to make sense of the world around you. Sometimes it makes mistakes. When this happens, we can experience things that aren't really there. So next time you think you're seeing reality, remember that you're really just seeing a mental reconstruction of it. Now, some people may argue that if we're just seeing mental reconstructions of reality, then how can we ever be sure of anything? How can we ever be sure that we're not hallucinating things that aren't really there? To this, I would say that while it's true that we can never be 100% sure of anything, we can still have a high degree of certainty. Just because we do and see things exactly as they are, doesn't mean that we and get very close to seeing them as they are. The human brain is an incredible organ, and we should marvel at its ability to process information and create a coherent model of the world around us. Thanks for watching.